Uncover the heartbreaking and mysterious stories behind the tragic fates of the 24 beloved members of the Welcome Back, Kotter cast. This iconic 70s sitcom brought laughter and joy into millions of homes, but behind the scenes, the lives of its stars were marked by unforeseen tragedies that led to their untimely deaths. From the highs of fame to the lows of personal struggles, these actors' stories are filled with shocking twists, unexplained events, and poignant moments that will leave you both captivated and saddened. Join us as we delve into the bittersweet legacy of Welcome Back, Kotter, honoring the stars who made us laugh, even as fate had other plans for them. Their stories are not just a tribute to the show's enduring appeal, but also a sobering reminder of how fleeting life can be. Marsha Strasman as Julie Kotter. Marsha Strasman brought warmth and charm to her role as Julie Kotter in Welcome Back, Kotter. Julie was the heart and soul of the Kotter household, providing unwavering support to her husband, Gabe, as he navigated the challenges of teaching the unruly sweathogs. Julie's character was known for her intelligence, wit, and nurturing nature. She often served as the voice of reason, balancing Gabe's sometimes impulsive actions with her calm and thoughtful demeanor. Julie's interactions with the sweathogs were always filled with kindness and understanding, making her a beloved figure in their lives. In her later years, Marsha Strasman faced a challenging battle with breast cancer. Diagnosed in 2007, she underwent various treatments, including surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. Despite the aggressive nature of her illness, Strasman remained active in her career and personal life, often using her platform to raise awareness about breast cancer. Her condition, however, gradually worsened, and she spent her final days at her home in Sherman Oaks, California. Strasman passed away on October 24, 2014, at the age of 66, surrounded by her loved ones. Ernest Tama as Mr. Jan. Ernest Tama played Mr. Jan in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who brought a unique blend of humor and cultural perspective to the show. Mr. Jan was a dedicated and somewhat quirky teacher who often found himself in amusing situations with the sweathogs. His character was known for his patience and his ability to connect with students on a personal level, often using his own life experiences to impart valuable lessons. In his later years, Ernest Tama continued to work in the entertainment industry, but his health began to decline. He was diagnosed with a chronic illness that gradually worsened over time. Despite his health challenges, Tama remained active in his community and continued to perform whenever possible. He passed away peacefully on April 5, 2019, at the age of 74, surrounded by family and friends in Honolulu, Hawaii. Robert Helgies as Juan Epstein. Robert Helgies brought a unique blend of humor and charm to his role as Juan Epstein in Welcome Back, Kotter. Epstein, a member of the Sweathogs, was known for his quick wit, mischievous nature, and his famous self-written excuse notes signed Epstein's Mother. His character was a street-smart, tough-talking student with a heart of gold, always ready to stand up for his friends and navigate the challenges of high school life with a blend of humor and resilience. In his later years, Robert Helgies faced significant health challenges. He had been in declining health for about 2 years before his death, having suffered a previous heart attack. On January 26, 2012, Helgies experienced chest pains at his home in Metuchen, New Jersey. Despite being rushed to John F. Kennedy Medical Center in Edison, New Jersey, he went into full cardiac arrest and passed away from an apparent heart attack at the age of 60. His sudden death was a shock to many who remembered him fondly from his days on Welcome Back, Kotter. Bridget Hanley as Mary Flanagan. Bridget Hanley played Mary Flanagan in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character known for her vibrant personality and unwavering optimism. Mary was a dedicated and enthusiastic teacher who always saw the best in her students, even the most challenging ones. Her character brought a sense of warmth and encouragement to the school, often going above and beyond to support her students' academic and personal growth. Mary's interactions with the Sweathogs were filled with patience and understanding, making her a beloved figure in their lives. In her later years, Bridget Hanley faced a difficult battle with Alzheimer's disease. Diagnosed in the early 2010s, she gradually withdrew from public life as her condition worsened. Despite the challenges, Hanley remained surrounded by her family and friends, who provided her with love and support. She spent her final years at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California, where she passed away on December 15, 2021, at the age of 80. Deb Lee Scott as Rosalie Hotsy Totsy. Deb Lee Scott played Rosalie Hotsy Totsy in Welcome Back, Kotter. Rosalie was a recurring character known for her flirtatious nature and her nickname, which hinted at her popularity among the boys. Despite her outward confidence, Rosalie had a vulnerable side, often seeking validation and acceptance from her peers. Her character added a layer of complexity to the Sweathogs dynamic, showing that even the most seemingly self-assured individuals have their insecurities. In her later years, Deb Lee Scott faced significant personal and health challenges. After losing her fiancé, John Dennis Levi, a police officer who died in the September 11th attacks, Scott struggled with depression and developed a drinking problem. This led to cirrhosis of the liver, a severe condition that ultimately contributed to her death. In 2005, shortly after moving to Florida to live with her sister, Scott fell into a coma and was hospitalized. She recovered briefly and was released from the hospital on her birthday, but tragically, she passed away in her sleep 3 days later on April 5, 2005, at the age of 52. John Sylvester White as Mr. Michael Woodman. John Sylvester White portrayed Mr. Michael Woodman, the stern and often grumpy vice principal of James Buchanan High School in Welcome Back, Kotter. Mr. Woodman was a strict disciplinarian who frequently clashed with Gabe Kotter and the Sweathogs. Despite his tough exterior, there were moments when his softer side showed through, revealing a character who cared deeply about the students' futures. Mr. Woodman's dry humor and no-nonsense approach made him a memorable and complex character. In his later years, John Sylvester White struggled with pancreatic cancer. After moving to Hawaii in the early 1980s, White's health began to decline. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a particularly aggressive and painful form of the disease. Despite undergoing treatment, his condition deteriorated rapidly. White spent his final days in Waikiki, Honolulu, where he passed away on September 11, 1988, at the age of 68. His death marked the end of a long and varied career in television and film. Della Reese as Mrs. Jean Tremaine. Della Reese brought a commanding presence to her role as Mrs. Jean Tremaine in Welcome Back, Kotter. Mrs. Tremaine was a no-nonsense, yet compassionate character who often provided sage advice and guidance to the students. Her character was known for her strong moral compass and her ability to see through the chaos to the heart of any issue, making her a respected figure among the Sweathogs and faculty alike. In her later years, Della Reese faced numerous health challenges. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which she managed for many years. In 2002, she suffered a brain aneurysm, which required surgery. Despite these health issues, Reese continued to work and inspire others through her performances and her ministry. Her health continued to decline, and she passed away peacefully at her home in Los Angeles on November 19, 2017, at the age of 86. Her passing marked the end of a remarkable career that spanned over 7 decades. Dennis Bowen as Todd Ludlow. Dennis Bowen portrayed Todd Ludlow, a character who appeared in several episodes of Welcome Back, Kotter. Todd was one of the Sweathogs, known for his laid-back attitude and occasional moments of insight that surprised his classmates and teachers alike. His character added a unique flavor to the group, often providing a different perspective on the various antics and challenges they faced. In his later years, Dennis Bowen's health began to decline. He was diagnosed with cancer, a battle he fought for several years. Despite his illness, Bowen continued to work in the entertainment industry, appearing in numerous television shows and commercials. He was also a recipient of the Medal of Valor from the California State Firemen's Association for his bravery in saving a woman from a burning building. Bowen passed away on March 9, 2012, at the age of 61, at his home in Toluca Lake, Los Angeles. His death marked the end of a prolific career in television and film. George Carlin as Wally, the Wow, Wexler. George Carlin brought his signature wit and irreverence to the role of Wally, the Wow, Wexler in Welcome Back, Kotter. Wally was a former Sweathog turned radio DJ, known for his sharp tongue and quick comebacks. His character was a reflection of Carlin's own comedic style, often pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. Wally's interactions with the Sweathogs were filled with humor and a touch of nostalgia, as he reminisced about his own days at Buchanan High. In his later years, George Carlin faced numerous health issues, including heart problems. He had a history of heart attacks and underwent multiple surgeries. Despite these challenges, Carlin continued to perform and produce comedy specials, remaining active in his career until the very end. On June 22, 2008, Carlin passed away from heart failure at the age of 71. His death marked the loss of one of the most influential comedians of his time. Jane Dullo as Nurse Bonnie. Jane Dullo played Nurse Bonnie in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character known for her no-nonsense attitude and caring nature. Nurse Bonnie was the school's dedicated nurse, always ready to provide medical assistance and a dose of tough love to the sweathogs. Her character was a steady presence in the chaotic environment of James Buchanan High School, often offering sage advice and a comforting hand to both students and staff. In her later years, Jane Dullo faced significant health challenges. She underwent heart surgery, which unfortunately led to complications. Despite the medical efforts, Dullo passed away on May 22, 1994, at the age of 76. Her passing marked the end of a long and varied career in television and film, where she was remembered for her comedic talent and memorable roles. Ron Palillo as Arnold Orhack. Ron Palillo portrayed Arnold Orhack, one of the most memorable characters in Welcome Back, Kotter. Orhack was the class clown, known for his distinctive, nasally laugh and his enthusiastic hand-raising with the catchphrase, "Ooh, Mr. Kotter." Despite his goofy exterior, Orhack was a sensitive and kind-hearted character who often provided comic relief while also showing surprising depth and vulnerability. In his later years, Ron Palillo struggled with health issues, including a long battle with depression. On August 14, 2012, Palillo suffered a heart attack at his home near Palm Beach, Florida. He was found by his longtime companion, Joseph Graham, and was rushed to Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. Palillo was 63 years old at the time of his death. His passing marked the end of a career that had brought joy and laughter to many through his iconic role as Arnold Orhack. Scott Brady as Mr. Lou Caruso. Scott Brady played Mr. Lou Caruso, a tough and no-nonsense gym teacher in Welcome Back, Kotter. Mr. Caruso was known for his strict discipline and his ability to command respect from the students. He often found himself at odds with the sweathogs, particularly Vinnie Barbarino, but his tough exterior hid a genuine concern for the students' well-being. Mr. Caruso's character added a layer of tension and drama to the show, making him a memorable figure. In his later years, Scott Brady faced significant health challenges. He was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis, a condition that causes scarring of the lungs and leads to severe respiratory issues. Despite his illness, Brady continued to work in the entertainment industry until his health no longer allowed it. He passed away on April 16, 1985, at the age of 60, due to respiratory failure. His death marked the end of a prolific career in film and television, where he was remembered for his rugged charm and strong screen presence. Amy Johnston as Cassie. Amy Johnston portrayed Cassie in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who was known for her sharp wit and independent spirit. Cassie was a strong, confident young woman who often challenged the status quo and stood up for what she believed in. Her interactions with the sweathogs and other characters added depth and complexity to the show's dynamic, making her a memorable part of the series. In her later years, Amy Johnston faced a long battle with cancer. Diagnosed with the disease, she underwent various treatments, including chemotherapy and radiation. Despite the severity of her illness, Johnston remained dedicated to her craft, continuing to act and teach drama. She passed away on March 17, 2021, at the age of 66, at her home in West Fork, Arkansas. Her passing marked the end of a career that had touched many lives through her performances and her work as a drama coach. Michael V. Gazo as Angelo DeMora. Michael V. Gazo portrayed Angelo DeMora in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who added a touch of grit and realism to the show. Angelo was a tough, streetwise individual who had seen the rougher side of life. Despite his hardened exterior, he had a soft spot for the sweathogs and often provided them with practical advice and guidance. Angelo's character was a reminder that everyone has a story and that even the toughest individuals can have a heart of gold. In his later years, Michael V. Gazo faced declining health. He suffered a stroke, which led to complications that ultimately claimed his life. Gazo passed away on February 14, 1995, at the age of 71, in Los Angeles, California. His passing marked the end of a career that had left a significant impact on both stage and screen, particularly through his memorable roles in The Godfather Part II and other notable works. Pat Morita as Taro Takahashi. Pat Morita brought a unique charm to his role as Taro Takahashi in Welcome Back, Kotter. Taro was a wise and humorous character who often provided sage advice to the Sweathogs and other students. His character was known for his dry wit and ability to diffuse tense situations with a well-timed joke or piece of wisdom. Taro's presence in the school was a calming influence, and his interactions with the students were always filled with respect and understanding. Pat Morita's later years were marked by significant health challenges. He struggled with alcoholism, which exacerbated his health problems. Morita developed kidney failure, following a urinary tract and gallbladder bacterial infection. Despite his health issues, he continued to work and inspire others with his performances. Morita passed away on November 24, 2005, at the age of 73, at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hope Summers as Ms. Riley. Hope Summers played Ms. Riley in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character known for her gentle yet firm demeanor. Ms. Riley was a dedicated teacher who cared deeply about her students, often going the extra mile to ensure their success. Her character brought a sense of stability and warmth to the school environment. In her later years, Hope Summers faced significant health challenges. She suffered from heart failure, which ultimately led to her passing. Despite her declining health, Summers continued to work almost until the end of her life, demonstrating her dedication to her craft. She passed away on June 22, 1979, at the age of 77, in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. Her ashes were scattered at sea, in accordance with her wishes. James Cormack as Uncle Harry Orshak. James Cormack portrayed Uncle Harry Orshak in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who brought a mix of humor and wisdom to the show. Uncle Harry was Arnold Horshak's eccentric uncle, known for his quirky personality and offbeat advice. His interactions with the Sweathogs and his nephew often provided comic relief, while also highlighting the importance of family and support. In his later years, James Cormack struggled with heart problems. Despite his health issues, he continued to work in the entertainment industry, contributing to various projects as a producer, director, and writer. Cormack passed away on December 24, 1997, at the age of 73, due to heart failure. His death marked the end of a prolific career that had a significant impact on television, particularly through his work on Welcome Back, Kotter, and other popular series. Harold J. Stone as Charlie Kotter. Harold J. Stone played Charlie Kotter, Gabe Kotter's father, in Welcome Back, Kotter. Charlie was a stern yet loving father who often provided Gabe with tough love and practical advice. His character was known for his old-school values and no-nonsense approach to life, which sometimes clashed with Gabe's more modern and lenient teaching methods. Despite their differences, Charlie's deep care for his son was always evident, and his wisdom often helped Gabe navigate the challenges of teaching the Sweathogs. In his later years, Harold J. Stone faced the natural decline of aging. He spent his final years at the motion picture and television retirement home in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. Stone passed away peacefully from natural causes on November 18, 2005, at the age of 92. His long and varied career left a lasting impact on both stage and screen. Martin Garner as Lou Grappet. Martin Garner portrayed Lou Grappet in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who added a touch of humor and eccentricity to the show. Lou Grappet was a quirky and endearing figure, known for his offbeat comments and unique perspective on life. His interactions with the Sweathogs often provided comic relief, while also highlighting the diverse personalities within the school. In his later years, Martin Garner's health began to decline. He spent his final years at the Actors Fund Home in Englewood, New Jersey, where he received care for various age-related ailments. Garner passed away on September 28, 2001, at the age of 74, due to natural causes. His death marked the end of a long and varied career in television and film, where he was remembered for his distinctive character roles and his contributions to the entertainment industry. Stephen Pearlman as Mr. Chicken Manager. Stephen Pearlman played the role of Mr. Chicken Manager in Welcome Back, Kotter. His character was the manager of a local fast food restaurant, known for his strict management style and his humorous interactions with the Sweathogs. Mr. Chicken Manager was a no-nonsense boss who demanded efficiency and discipline from his employees, often leading to comedic situations as the Sweathogs tried to navigate their part-time jobs. In his later years, Stephen Pearlman faced a battle with cancer. Despite his illness, He continued to work in theater, film, and television, delivering powerful performances until the end. Pearlman passed away on September 30, 1998, at the age of 63, in his Manhattan apartment. His death marked the end of a distinguished career that spanned several decades. Herb Edelman as Mo Epstein. Herb Edelman portrayed Mo Epstein in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who was both endearing and exasperating. Mo was Juan Epstein's uncle, a landlord with a knack for turning slums into thriving ghettos. He was known for his tough exterior and no-nonsense approach to managing his properties, often clashing with tenants but always with a twinkle of humor in his eye. Mo's interactions with the Kotters and the Sweathogs were filled with comedic moments and a touch of heart. In his later years, Herb Edelman struggled with emphysema, a chronic lung disease that made breathing increasingly difficult. Despite his condition, Edelman continued to work in television and film, delivering memorable performances. He passed away on July 21, 1996, at the age of 62, after a long battle with the disease. His death was a significant loss to the entertainment industry, where he was remembered for his versatility and talent. Frank Corsentino as Mr. Overly. Frank Corsentino portrayed Mr. Overly, a substitute teacher in Welcome Back, Kotter. Mr. Overly was known for his strict and somewhat eccentric teaching style, often leading to humorous interactions with the Sweathogs. His character added a unique dynamic to the classroom, providing both comic relief and moments of unexpected wisdom. In his later years, Frank Corsentino faced declining health. He was diagnosed with cancer, which he battled for several years. Despite his illness, Corsentino continued to work in the entertainment industry, appearing in various television shows and films. He passed away on January 7, 2007, at the age of 65, in Hawthorne, California. His death marked the end of a diverse and impactful career in acting. Jack Dodson as Mr. Hanson. Jack Dodson portrayed Mr. Hanson in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who was a dedicated and somewhat quirky teacher at Buchanan High. Mr. Hanson was known for his meticulous nature and his passion for teaching, often going to great lengths to ensure his students understood the material. His interactions with the Sweathogs were filled with a mix of frustration and genuine concern, as he tried to balance discipline with empathy. In his later years, Jack Dodson struggled with heart problems. He suffered from heart failure, which ultimately led to his death on September 16, 1994, at the age of 63. Despite his health issues, Dodson continued to work in television and film, leaving behind a legacy of memorable performances. Kathleen Doyle as Nurse. Kathleen Doyle played the role of a nurse in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who was known for her caring and attentive nature. She provided medical care and support to the students and staff, often offering a comforting presence in times of need. In her later years, Kathleen Doyle faced significant health challenges. She was diagnosed with a chronic illness that progressively worsened over time. Despite her condition, Doyle remained active in her community and continued to work as long as her health allowed. She passed away peacefully on January 31, 2021, at the age of 73, in Los Angeles, California. Her death marked the end of a career that had touched many lives through her compassionate performances. Alice Backus as Mrs. Hanson. Alice Backus portrayed Mrs. Hanson in Welcome Back, Kotter, a character who was known for her nurturing and supportive nature. Mrs. Hanson was a beloved figure at Buchanan High, always ready to lend a helping hand to both students and staff. Her character added a touch of kindness and compassion to the school community. In her later years, Alice Backus faced the natural decline of aging. She relocated to Virginia Beach, Virginia, to be closer to her family. Backus passed away peacefully in her sleep from natural causes on March 15, 2007, at the age of 83. Her body was cremated, and her ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean, as per her wishes. ZZZ. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Welcome Back, Kotter, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.